estate, there are multiple categories that we can choose from. One of those is single-tenant net lease properties. As compared to other property types, especially during the pandemic, this is one that has remained to have high demand with low cap rates and high sales prices, especially when looking at them on a per square foot basis. Why is that? Well, typically those properties are good real estate. Sometimes they have difficult barriers of entry, but they have good, strong tenants, often with great company guarantees. Let's take a deeper dive into those as we move forward with today's Face Facts.
Bill, you and I do a lot of work in the capital markets sector, brokering the sale of investment real estate. When you look at a commercial real estate investment, you generally don't get very far before somebody says, "What's the cap rate?" Well, the capitalization rate refers to the ratio between the value and the net operating income in the buyer's first year. It's a snapshot. The lower the cap rate, the higher the price.
Tenants in these net lease properties often fall into the categories of quick service restaurants or QSRs, gas conveniences like 7-Eleven or Wawa's, national auto parts stores, or even banks. The pricing of these net lease deals depends on a number of factors. How much lease term is left? How good is the underlying real estate? Can you review the tenant's sales history? And especially, how strong is the tenant's credit?
Our colleague Doug Aronson handles a lot of single-tenant net lease sales, both in the Mid-Atlantic and in Florida. He says the credit worthiness of the tenant is key.
So McDonald's is probably, the king of them all, but then you could have, say, like a Popeyes franchisee, which could trade at potentially 200 basis points difference, higher, from a 4 cap to a 6 cap. Same amount of lease, but the credit is so different, even if the location is the same.
And here's another consideration. What is the rent that the tenant is paying? Is it at, above, or below market? In other words, if the tenant left, could you backfill the real estate at a comparable rent? Take bank branches as an example. They were really hot single-tenant net lease products some years ago. But today, you and I can do on our cell phones some of what used to require a trip to the bank. So banks are consolidating branches. In some of those branches, you have high rents.
And if you have one that's about $200,000 to $300,000 a year in rent, and you're going to say, who am I going to replace that with? And you're going to pay maybe $4 or $5 million for that property. A lot of people are like, I don't know if I can replace that rent, and I don't want to pay that much money. I'm paying the price based upon the income and the guarantee of the lease. That's what affects the cap rates.
What a great session. Thank you so much, Doug. We always have to consider a lot of factors when investing in commercial real estate, regardless of whether it's single-tenant net lease properties, industrial properties, office properties, all of the like. We have to make sure that it's good real estate and it's something that we are willing to hold on to for quite some time. Really enjoyed this week's session. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, if there's anything that you ever want us to discuss, just shoot us a message and we'll be sure to cover it on an upcoming version of Face Facts. Have a great week.